Hi, welcome to Inner Growth. Healing is a journey. Good morning. The sun is shining. So beautiful. Today, I just want to share my gratitude overcoming my fear of being alone and sleeping alone. That's a major thing. When I was going through my imbalance with my inflamed arteries, this was maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. An entire year, I've already spoken to you guys about it, but an entire year, I just was so scared that I was gonna die. Just so scared every day, every second of my life. Just like, this is gonna kill me, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna have a heart attack, I'm gonna have all this stuff. Yeah, I would not wish that upon anyone. It's like extreme case of anxiety, panic attack / just mental scattered brain. And I thought that I'd always have that, and I just like couldn't calm down and couldn't rest. And I remember most nights when I was with my ex, he would work graveyards at the hospital, and I would remember every night that he wasn't there, because he would work a couple of shifts at night and then he'd work a couple shifts in the morning. And so the nights that he would sleep at night over at the hospital or at the fire department that he worked at, I would be just beyond scared that if he wasn't there with me, he'd come home to me and I'd be just dead on the bed. Like, that was my real fear. And so what I would do was I would be like, okay, Wendy, like, this is me trying to calm myself down, right? I was like, okay, just go to sleep, just go to sleep. So I'd put headphones in with like meditative music, and then I'd end up falling asleep. But then out of nowhere, I'd wake up late, maybe like at 1 or at 2 or something like that. And I'd be like, okay, like, for some reason in my mind, if it was 5 o'clock and like later, then I made the night. Like, I conquered it and I was alive and people wouldn't find me dead, right? But at 2 o'clock, 1 or 2, what I would do is I would message him because I knew he was awake, and I would just be like, I'm so scared, like, I think I'm gonna die, I think I'm having a heart attack, I think. So he'd help me calm down. But there was some nights that it was so extreme that I would actually drive my car at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning and go to the emergency room and just stay in their parking lot. Like, just in case I like died or had a heart attack, like, they'd find me and be able to like revive me. Like, this is the level I was at of how big. I mean, even while I was there just like laying, I was so tired and just so exhausted and just so angry with myself. Like, what the fuck, Wendy? Like, just go to sleep. It's not a big deal. If you die, you die. Like, just go to bed. And I just could not. I was wanting the control of keeping myself alive, and I was going to do anything possible, and everything outside of me was going to save me, and nothing inside of me. I did not trust myself. Nothing. I share this story with you as vulnerable as it is, because in that time, I remember specifically, I was outside of my ex-boyfriend's work, and I was like, I'm here just in case, like, I'm going to go inside if I feel any chest pain. And the only reason I didn't was, 1, to prove to myself that, like, hey, calm down. But 2, it was mostly because I didn't want to have to pay the copay. I wouldn't have to, like, because I kept going to hospitals and they kept saying, like, I have chest pain, but I don't know why. Like, and then all my blood tests were fine and I had to pay all this fucking money. And then they were just like, it's fine. That's where the energy and the EMDR work really helped me, because it was like glitches in the mind or trauma that I just did not go through. Like, I just didn't overcome at all. So it was still trapped in my body. And so now knowing that and now being free from that, guys, I told you that I'm in Mexico, right? And so I've been here for over a month, and I'm now here in a different place, not with my friend, but in a different place, just for the weekend. But I'm alone. Like, I slept alone. I'm here alone. Like, and I'm in the middle of a different fucking country, like a different country. And not once did I like think like, oh, what if, actually last night I did. And that's why it gave me like inspiration to share the story today, because I was like, Wendy, look how far you've come. Like, and I share this with you because I just, as cliche as this might sound, no matter what you're going through, no matter how like intense and how you just feel like this is never gonna fucking stop. Like, I will never overcome this. You do. Guys, 5 years later or 4 years later, I mean, my progress was already, like maybe a year after that intense thing was already happening, but I'm standing here or laying here 4 or 5 years later, and the calmness that I feel, like, yes, I still get fucking scared over certain things. Yes, some of the triggers still happen about that intense year or 2 years that I was so scared of dying. I still muscle test and like, hey, like, am I gonna be good in this situation, or is my body okay? Like, that's still a thing that I feel like I do once in a while, but I'm not constantly like thinking of the worst case scenario anymore. And just to be free from that, like, is such a blessing. I know some of you do have a challenge with believing in yourself and your body, and just maybe having anxiety or depression. And guys, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna live to see another day, and those memories are gonna be long past, and you're gonna be able to talk about them and just look back and be like, wow. Like, every time I share a story like this, I don't want to seem egotistic, but I'm literally just so proud of myself, like, and so grateful for all the people that God brought into my life to help me. Like I've told you guys before, my ex-boyfriend was, oh my gosh, just so beneficial in the time of need. And my dad and my brother and my family, friends. And even if you are anxiety prone and depressed, and people all around you are saying all these great things, and they feel like it's not sticking, like it just isn't, at some point it all clicks, and all of those like words of wisdom and support is just feels so good. An overwhelming feeling of peace. And so have a beautiful day, have a blessed day. And oh my gosh, I love you all. I'm grateful for you all. Remember that you are unconditionally loved, unconditionally valued, and unconditionally enough by just being you. I love you so much. Many blessings.